Our people need to wake up. They need to start realizing that we are no longer in the age of believing. We are now in the age of knowing. For hundreds of years, we have been told of a man named Moses, who is a prophet, that this Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Old Testament. The point is that in 1881, the remains of an Egyptian pharaoh named Pharaoh Ramesses the Great, or Pharaoh Ramesses II, was found. This pharaoh was the king of Egypt, they believed, battled with Moses in the book of Exodus. He is believed to be the pharaoh whose heart was hardened by the biblical God and who refused to free the Israelites from slavery and who was drowned in the Red Sea. The point is that when his remains, mummified body and writings were discovered, nowhere did he mention anyone by the name of Moses. Nowhere did he mention that the Jews were enslaved in Egypt. He lived up to 90 years and died in 1213 BCE. Pharaoh Ramesses the Great was not drowned in the Red Sea. He suffered and died from arthritis. The significant point to note is that nowhere in Egyptian indigenous history is it mentioned that the Jews or the Israelites or the Hebrews were enslaved in Egypt. In fact, all the pyramids were built completely from the 3rd political dynasty to the 4th political dynasty, and no Jew was born until the 13th dynasty. We should wake up, children of the sun. When the first Jew came to Africa, they were 75 in number. According to Cheikh Anta Diop in his book, African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality, he stated it clearly that when they came to Africa, they were embraced by the ancient African Egyptians, the black African Egyptians. The black African Egyptians took the Jews to their mystery school, to their mystery system, where they were educated and impacted with a lot of knowledge. According to Cheikh Anta Diop, when the Jews were leaving Africa, the people who came 75 left Africa with over 600,000 of them. They left with a religion called Judaism. They left with African laws. The African Egyptian had what we call the 42 laws of goddess Mahat. Mahat was the goddess of law, order, and balance. They left with this law. They copied 10 out of the 42 laws of goddess Mahat. They copied the story of Cain and Abel from the story of an Egyptian god named Osiris and Seth, whereby Seth killed his brother Osiris out of jealousy. They copied the story of Isis and they invented their story of Mary. They copied the story of Jesus from the original story called the story of Heru or Horus. They have been copying and they have been plagiarizing the African spirituality